After a stormy start to this Tuesday here in central and eastern Kentucky, it's been quiet, albeit breezy and mild with some cloudiness. But now the focus shifting to the potential for some severe weather during the early hours of Wednesday. That severe threat overnight, especially Lexington to the north and west. A very, very sharp cutoff. I'll show you that between where the higher risk is. Strong storms still possible for central and eastern Kentucky into Wednesday morning, probably after daybreak as a squall line moves in, and then temperatures are going to crash behind that cold front. 60s at daybreak to upper 30s to low 40s into the afternoon. Here's the latest outlook from the Storm Prediction Center. Level 1 out of 5 in green, up to a 2 in yellow, up to a 3 across our northern and northwestern counties, and that's going to be the favored area for the damaging winds, although anywhere in the risk area has the potential. But this hatched area, basically from Louisville to Frankfort, Williamstown, up through Cincinnati, could see some wind speeds 70, 75 miles per hour coming out of some of these thunderstorms. And as far as the tornado threat, it really ramps down for our viewing area, but it's back into southern Indiana and the Louisville metro area. That's going to be where the most favorable environment will be for any tornadic storms. The broader view of the severe threat, the enhanced, the level 3, front and center right along the Ohio River, and then overlaying some of the expected data on it going forward. If this materializes late this evening, these are isolated supercells, which have a tendency to be unfortunately better tornado producers than what you see in a squall line. That's good news for central and eastern Kentucky. Damaging winds obviously on the table, and we sometimes can get that isolated tornado spinning up. One wave 4 to 6 a.m., another one probably between 7 and 9 before eventually everything sweeps on through and we are done with it. Then we're dealing with some colder air and wind. Clouds and radar. A lot of clouds, not much on the radar, but we've had clearing out to the west, and activity should begin to fire. In fact, the last frame there, that activity that's expected to go up west of Chicago beginning, checking things out in Mount Sterling. But here in Lexington, we got a south wind at about 15 to 20. We're at 64. Temperatures haven't moved at all through the afternoon, so they've underachieved. But looking out west where the sun came out, as mentioned, 85 in St. Louis, 84 in Springfield. So a lot of warm, moist air being pumped in just ahead of that frontal boundary, and you got about a 35 to 40 degree spread on either side of that front. So the clash of the air masses setting the table again for the severe weather potential, especially across the northern and western part of our viewing area and the lower part of the Ohio Valley. Futurecast has the main action, at least here in central and eventually eastern Kentucky, coming in just before daybreak and then continuing through the morning. And you see those temperatures crashing out a little bit later on in the afternoon. We're going to have some wind, so that's going to knock our wind chills down. Now, this severe threat tomorrow, this is for those couple of waves that move through. It's a level 1 to low end, but still some damaging winds. And I mentioned that isolated tornado spin up, so don't let your guard down. And remember, this is early in the morning, and we haven't had severe weather in a while. So you need to kind of review that safety plan and have a way to be alerted. You see those wind gusts along that front, man, they're going to be up there 40, 45. And because of that, we've got the wind advisory that is out until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for all of central and eastern Kentucky here. So looking at the big picture, that front noses through, and then here comes a west to northwest wind, cold air, wind chills to boot. Even with high pressure building in, we'll see some lingering clouds. And a quick look at the wind chills. Look at these things drop into tomorrow afternoon, probably into the 20s and even possibly down into the upper teens and low 20s by tomorrow evening and during the early part of Thursday. So talk about going one extreme to the other, and you can thank the crashing temperatures for that. Very blustery in the colder air, 61 at daybreak tomorrow. Leap day finishing out February. Some clouds around mid-40s, a little wet as we begin the month of March. Weekend still looks pretty good. Just an isolated shower chance on Sunday. How about those highs, though? Back up to around 70.